So what management tools do you have, Volker, to manage your emotions? What do you use?
I mean, the example you just brought up is brilliant, right? Because everyone can practice that.
Yeah.
Because we have this instinct straight away. We are the best drivers, right? Everyone else is driving is rubbish, right? And they don't know what they're doing. So as soon as someone cuts across, you go like, that outburst. But we all know that, right? And actually, there's a great Instagram post or video somewhere on Instagram. Probably watch too much Instagram, but there's a chap, a taxi driver, and he stayed totally calm when someone shouted at him, and his guest said, "So why do you stay so calm?" Because everyone has to shout at someone, and I can just take it, right? But it's realizing in these situations, how do you react, right?
Yeah.
When my kids are now teenagers, right? So it's slightly different. But when they were younger, they totally drove you potty, right? How do you manage that? Do you shout at them? And I would say that the first few times I shouted at them, and then I got more mellow, if mellow is the right word here, right? But I managed to control my emotions more. But even these days, right, it's funny actually, every Tuesday night, and I don't know if that's because what I do on a Tuesday, I get really agitated around 6-7 o'clock, and then I make dinner, and it's just, everything is just getting too much for me. Being able to realize that I cannot have a very in-depth conversation with my family over dinner, that I might be a bit jumpy, that I might just have to take myself, away from a situation.
Yeah.
Take a bit of breathing, breathing exercise always help to calm you down, right? Things like that. I just, just realizing, again, what you said earlier, as a self-awareness, that's where it starts. How do you regulate your emotions? How do you regulate your impulses? And we have that in the workplace, right? And you don't want to work with someone who, let's say you didn't hit target. Let's say you hit target 90% of your target. You don't want to say it's a manager going in and go like, big old outburst, right? On a Friday afternoon. Can you come to my office? And nothing else.
Yeah.
It's just, and people still do. And it astonishes me, to be honest.